Well, under the lights at Jack McLaughlin Oval, the stage is set once again for the 2026 Men's HMRI Charity Shield, and this time it's the men who take centre stage as Broadmeadow Magic meet Cooks Hill in what promises to be a cracking contest. For the Magic, well, it's been a whirlwind 12 months fresh off their involvement in the inaugural Australian Championship, an experience Jimmy Kresner described as invaluable for his group. They return to local duties brimming with confidence. Cooks Hill, though, they have their chapter of their own history behind them. A State Cup triumph over Western and perhaps even more memorably, a round of 16 clash with the Newcastle Jets at number 2 Sports Ground. There's change in the dugout this season. Jamie Dunning stepping in as head coach with Chris Sorachitz moving on to the Jets Academy, signalling a fresh direction for the Cookers. And alongside me tonight is Ryan Deutsch. Ryan, both these clubs had campaigns to remember last season. They had success. What are you looking forward to seeing in this one?
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us this evening. And yeah, you're right in terms of they had different seasons, let's be honest, okay? But there was certainly some highlights for both squads. Broadmeadow Magic, on one hand, you know, pretty much won everything that they went into, and we'll be looking to do the same again. It's a club that has high ambitions. It's a club where nothing but the best is accepted, and you know the pressure that these guys are under is to rinse and repeat, basically.
And I'll tell you what, that comes with a coach like Jimmy Kresner, right, who lays down the foundations.
Yeah, and what I like what Jim's done this year actually is he's freshened up his coaching staff. So you know I'm watching him and his staff walk over to the bench right now, and you know 3 out of the 4 staff that are with him are new this year. And I think what that does is if we're not going to change the playing staff because, you know, we've had such a great year, how do we inject freshness? How do we inject energy? How do we inject something that's going to take us to the next level? And I think Jim's probably looked at that and thought to himself, you know, he can do that through his coaching staff. So you're right, you know, and he won't be shy to the fact that Broadmeadow Magic this year is their absolute objective will be again to finish top of the pile. What I was going to say was Cooks Hill, on the other hand, will be looking to probably build on last year. You know, they had a great FA Cup run, okay, which was ended by our very own Newcastle Jets.
Who went on to win the Australia Cup?
Who went on to win it, so they only lost to the eventual champions, and gave a great account of themselves and a great account of Northern New South Wales football in the FA Cup. But they know that they've got a lot of work to do in the league, and they'll be certainly looking to build on their FA Cup and their final league position last year.
It's a new era for both of these sides as both teams head out onto the field now. Let's take a quick look at the lineups for this one, starting with Broadmeadow Magic, the team who did the double last season. It's a new look squad in patches for them, starting off a new goalkeeping change. They've lost both Zach Bowling and Louis Alvarez. So Jeremiah Klur starts in goals. Number 4 is Thomas Beecham. Will Ingram continues on at left back. Keanu Moore returns to the Magic wearing the number 6. Jack Simmons, who was really impressive last season with 8. New number 9, Luis Lara Delgado. 13 is Adam Sharat. 17, Ezra Polombini. 18, Joseph Kresner. 20, the skipper, Jeremy Wilson. 21, James Kresner. And on the bench for Jimmy Kresner's side, Daniel Axford plays backup keeper. Saxon Pazovsky in jersey number 10. 11, Jared Baker. 12 is the newly arrived Zachary Waddell. 14 is Jake Kalen. 15, Regan Jose. And 16, Bailey Anclift. Well, moving on to Cooks Hill, who, like we said, had a season to remember last year. They created success in both the State Cup and Australia Cup. Daniel Eisenhower remains the man in the sticks. Jai Bailey at right back in jersey number 2. Alex Hilton re-signed with the Cookers this year. He wears the number 3. Number 4, Alex Gillipsy. 8 is Liam Spurway. 9 is their target man, Joshua Benson. 10 is Liam Wilson. 11, Kane Woolston. 13, Zach Luck. 18, freshly arrived, Kent Harrison, from New Lambton. 21 is Kai Bradley. Moving on to the substitutes tonight. 16, Joel Clissard. 17, Daniel Yaxley. 26, Lewis Sidorovsky. 31, Lewis Miller. 34, Stanley Manning-Lurie. 37, Daniel Seedell. And 39, Cameron Howard. And they are coached tonight by Ash Balcom. And the reason being is because Jamie Dunning, the man who's replaced Chris Zoricic at this club, is currently, I'd say, probably on his way home from Combank Stadium. He plays assistant role to Stephen Hoyle, who also has signed on with the Cougars this year. Just onto the Jets. They did pick up a draw in that game away to Wanderers. But Stephen Hoyle, but most notably, Jamie Dunning, the head coach, missing tonight. But what are you thinking he'll bring to this Cooks Hill side? Obviously a fresh coach, someone that Cooks Hill aren't used to.
Yeah, and, Chris Zoricic's done a great job at Cooks Hill. I think what Chris Zoricic brought was a level of professionalism to Cooks Hill. I know, as an example, behind the scenes, he had the boys training more often. He added a level of professionalism to what the boys were expected to do and expected to behave in and around the field, of which Jamie's probably going to do the same, to be honest. He's in a situation week in, week out with the Newcastle Jets women, where it's a professional environment. He'll be wanting to bring that professional environment to Cooks Hill. So it wouldn't surprise me if they are able to build on what they did last year. And I'm actually looking forward to how they set up tonight against a team that would probably be expecting to maybe not walk this game, but certainly to come out on top.
They come in as strong favourites, do the Magic, but like you mentioned, Cooks Hill embarking on a new era, and I'm interested to see how the connection of Hoyle goes as well, how he fits into the side, whether he plays that sort of leadership role to some of the youngsters or whether he does some any spot at centre back.
Yeah, the challenge for me is he able to play in terms of his commitments to the Newcastle Jets women, right? Is how often he's going to be able to feature and how much of a role he can have. I'm sure if he can play week in, week out, it'll be advantageous for Cooks Hill. But how much he's available is the question.
Certainly right. He'll sure he's discussed pre-season before joining the Cookers of his schedule. But as we mentioned, it is Ash Balcom who leads Cooks Hill tonight. Cooks Hill in their normal black and white strip, Magic in the yellow. It's a different yellow this year as well, Ryan. And also the new goalkeeper who's arrived onto the scene, Jeremiah Cleur. We're so used to seeing Louis Alvarez and at times Zach Bowling. But they've got two new keepers this year. But that new kid in particular, Magic in the yellow tonight.
Yes, and that will be an area of question mark for Broadmeadow Magic and the teams playing up against Broadmeadow Magic. It wouldn't surprise me tonight if there's been a conversation in the Cooks Hill dressing room around putting some balls in and on the Broadmeadow Magic keeper as early as possible and just testing him out. It's a nice night to come into as a goalkeeper. There's not much wind. The conditions are pretty much perfect. But still, the conversation for me in a Cooks Hill camp would be absolutely around. Let's try and test this keeper early and let's see what they've got.
Well, on debut, he will have his hands full tonight. It's Palambini now, out on the right-hand flank. Feeding the new number 9, Lewis Lara for the Magic. And now the Magic are through. That's a lovely touch. Kresnar takes a shot straight into the hands of the returning Daniel Eisenhower, who signed on for Cooks Hill. It's great build-up play, though, in the meantime for Magic. Keani Moore as well, Ryan, back in Magic colours. We've been accustomed to hearing his name in and around the NPL. Yeah,
and Broadmeadow Magic, there was a few rumours coming out of the Oz Championship around players leaving, players coming in. I don't think they help matters, I'll be honest, when you've got so many rumours circulating your club. I think what Jim Kresner will have wanted to do was get his squad sorted nice and early, get them in for pre-season and work with a really settled squad. So there are some new faces for Broadmeadow Magic this year, but already what you can absolutely see is their energy on that press.
Lewis Lara in behind, on debut for Magic, the chip to the back stick looking for Kresnar. Sorry to interrupt you there, but that was a huge chance going begging there for Magic. And like you mentioned, that press seemed relentless. You could hear the shouts of press and go high up. Cooks Hill slowly settling into this one, but that was a chance there for Broadmeadow. Back luck wanted Benson to go. Benson now. Palambini wins it back. Sharp's feet from the number 17. Keanu Moore, that's tricky. Does he have the pace to get him behind? You can already see huge intent to this one as Cooks Hill now. Thomas Beecham comes across. How key has he been as well, a part of this Magic backline, Thomas Beecham? I thought he was underrated and a key part of why Magic did what they did last season.
Yeah, and he was one of the names that was linked to potentially moving away in the off-season. So I know that Jim Kresner would be more than happy to have kept him in the squad. The challenge that I'd like to see other clubs do is put him under a bit more pressure. You can see at the minute that I'll just let this play through, Harry.
Magic down the left-hand side it falls. Keanu Moore will have time and space at the edge of the box, and he lets fly.
You can see what Cooks Hill are doing. They're sitting off Broadmeadow Magic. They're letting the centre-backs have the ball. They're letting Broadmeadow Magic kind of have it 10 to 15 yards in their own half, which normally is not bad. But a player like Tom Beecham with his pass range, it can actually hurt you by standing off those kind of players and letting them have the ball. The challenge is, though, is if you're going to go and press them, you're going to give space in behind for these runners to run into. And Broadmeadow Magic, if nothing else, are willing runners in everything they do, on the ball, off the ball, which is why in these scenarios, more often than not, Broadmeadow Magic dominate because of the work rate and the attitude that they have when they go and hunt that ball back.
That was tidy play from Benson. Cooks Hill looked to go down the right-hand side. Yeah, it seems to be a more youthful approach. I wouldn't say youthful, but they've certainly come out the blocks really sharp. We know that Cody Nancaro has departed, as well as Jaden Stewartson. Stewartson will call this place home in 2026, signing with the Edgeworth Eagles.
Yeah, I think it's a good signing for me, for Edgy, Stewartson. I think he'll give them something that they probably lacked towards the end of the season once Ryan Fuchs had departed. I think he'll give them that figurehead up front, a bit of a target player. That will bring in other players. So I'm looking forward to seeing Stewartson in Edgeworth colours next year.
Well, he gets his campaign underway against none other than the Broadmeadow Magic, so he'll face his former club this time next week as round one of the MPL gets underway. So that'll be a good test for him against his former club, up against Thomas Beecham, as you mentioned, so that those two will know each other inside out.
So this is what I mean with Cooks Hill. So they're allowing Broadmeadow Magic players to have the ball here. Okay, now normally what that does is it means that players will force the ball, but as you can see, Tom Beecham's range of pass is one of his strengths, so it actually at times can work against you, giving Broadmeadow Magic that much time and space in that area of the field.
You could see by that distribution there on that left-hand flank, if you give him space and you've got the wingers making forward runs, he can spot them.
Yeah, correct. Now, the challenge is, like I said, is if you go and press Tom Beecham, you're going to leave space somewhere else then, though, for players like James Kresner, Palambini, to get into. So it really is one of them where you're tossing it up.
Delivery to the front stick. Ingram battling hard. You wonder as well, Ryan, how the fitness levels are of this Broadmeadow side coming off the back of the Oz Championship. I know it's been a while between drinks now, but I wonder what the pre-season routine was like, whether Jimmy Kresner gave them a bit of time off. So let this play develop. Kresner. Moore can't get it into his feet. This is where Cooks Hill can break, but also looking to keep the ball. And they will here through Jai Bailey.
Smart play for Cooks Hill from me there. Really outnumbered if they'd have played the ball forward. So don't give Broadmeadow Magic easy turnovers like that one as an example. Make them work to win the ball back and be calm in possession.
That's careless. Liam Wilson chasing that one down. I feel like there might be a bit of revenge on offer for Magic tonight. I know they beat them twice in the regular Northern New South Wales competition, but when you looked at the Australia Cup round of 32 qualifier, Cooks Hill went away to Magic Park, which is no easy task in itself, because that's Huge challenge there between Palambini and Gillespie. But yeah, you feel like Magic could be on the hunt because we've always seen Broadmeadow qualify for the round of 32 of the Australia Cup, and they weren't there this year.
Do you know what as well? I reckon Broadmeadow Magic would have fancied their chances in with the run that Cooks Hill had. So yes, they won a lot of trophies and had a lot of silverware last year, but I absolutely know that cup exit, it hurt them. So whether or not it's revenge tonight, whether or not they have that feeling towards Cooks Hill, I'm unsure about that. But certainly they'll be wanting to come out of the blocks fast tonight and lay a gauntlet down for the rest of the clubs and say, hey, we're back again, and there's no let up.
Well, if you missed the previous game in the women's HMRI Charity Shield, Maitland ran out 7-0 winners. And you talk about sending a message to the rest of the competition. Well, Magic can put teams on notice with a good pre-season display tonight. So can Cooks Hill as well. They've got some new recruits that have arrived. Nonetheless, it's good to see both sets of fans out here tonight. Jack McLaughlin Oval barbecue pumping. Both teams just really excited for local football to get back underway, Ryan.
Yeah, me too. I'll be honest. It feels like an age since I was watching our MPL last year. So really excited to get the season back underway, not just in the senior space, but the youth. The youth season starts again this weekend, so really looking forward to ultimately just getting a whole heap of football up and running again in and around our region.
We look at Broadmeadow last year in terms of the Charity Shield. They went ahead 2-0 within the space of 25 minutes against the Lambton Jaffas. The Jaffas able to claw that one back and win on penalties. But the previous year they got one over the Jaffas. So they've featured in the Charity Shield all 3 times. This time it's a different opponent in Cooks Hill for them. They've been used to facing David Tancheski's Jaffas. That ball over the top now, searching for Kane Woolston, newly signing. Kai Bradley. Wilson. Bradley with the dink over the top. Beecham's alert to the danger, but Magic still can't clear. Still alive for Cooks Hill. Trying to find that penetrating pass. Jai Bailey out on the right-hand side now. One-on-one with Ingram. Spurway through. Magic very narrow, and they pinch it back through Jack Simmons, who won the player of the match in the grand final last year. He's dispossessed here, and play will play on. Zach Luck. Luck slips it through. Spurway into the area. Back to Zach Luck. Oh my days! Well, that is one way to announce yourself and get the opening goal in this one. Zach Luck with an absolute screamer on that left foot, and Cooks Hill take a 1-0 lead here.
Yeah, I was just watching Liam Spurway just in that nice passage of play from Cooks Hill. He started really, really assured. What I like about him at the minute is he's really comfortable receiving the ball and having the ball even when Broadmeadow Magic are putting pressure on him. And that's important when you're playing teams like Magic. It's not about rushing the possession, being calm in possession. He actually made the run beyond and then squared the ball back for a really lovely finish. But Liam Spurway has had a really positive start to the game for Cooks Hill.
Lee picks up an assist, and Zach Luck, who had to buy his time last season, gets his name on the score sheet. And as now a chance is gifted to the Magic, and it's their new signing, Lewis Lara, who gets them back on level terms. Eisenhower come out, tried to prevent the danger, and within that now, the Magic straight away hit back.
The decision was right from me for the goalkeeper. He came, you know, he saw the run beyond, he saw the space behind. He came, again, was first to the ball. Poor execution. It's a really poor mistake from the goalkeeper after Cooks Hill have had a nice start to the game and managed to get themselves ahead, so the keeper certainly won't want to be seeing that one again.
You can see the frustration on Eisenhower. I mean, it's no easy task taking the lead against the Broadmeadow side today. We're in a comfortable position, but Magic, as they do, have squared the ledger here, and it's their new import, Lewis Lara. That's some way to... always a confidence booster, isn't it, when you arrive at a new club and pick up a goal, and I mean, he couldn't really miss, could he?
No, but he looks like a Magic player to me. He's bright, he's energetic, he runs beyond. He reminds me a little bit of James Kresner, actually. Similar kind of build as well, but really bright and energetic up front.
Always wants to be receiving the ball, and his inside run means that Ingram bounces on forward, but that offside flag will go up. Well, it's been an action-packed opening 15 minutes, Ryan. I mean, we look at the earlier game between Maitland and Charlestown. As I said, Maitland running out 7-0 winners in that one and claiming the Charity Shield, but this one, it's been a really, really fast start. Out left now. Benson. Searching for options. Zach Luck bombs on forward. Cooks Hill keeping the ball really well, and it's out to the right through Bailey, who's got acres of space in front of him. Bailey. Inside, and now the Magic. That first time pass has been played through to Lara, who's battling hard, and that's good tracking back there. Great tracking back. Just preventing that danger.
Yeah, what Lara does really well is he stretches play by going high, but then he checks off the line and looks to receive in front of the two centre-backs. For me, they're the two centre-backs. One has to be tighter on Lara. They can't allow him to just peel off them like that and have that much time and space. They need to get a little bit tighter to him, but he's smart in his movement because he goes and then he comes towards.
It's a different looking Magic formation, I think, in general as well. We know Personals always look to get on forward at times. He's playing more of a high role. Polombini shifted out to the right. Keanu Moore playing in the left. But you feel like Keanu Moore especially will drift inside at times and allow Will Ingram, who you know loves to get on forward at times, and bomb on forward because he's got a wicked left foot on him. Lara now, great interception. Great hassling from the number 9. Ball inside finds Simmons. Palombini. Simmons with the dink. Keanu Moore lifts it forward. Lara! Cook's still shouting for offside. That was a chance there for the Magic. Yeah,
he'll be disappointed with that, to be honest. He's doing well in this game. He won the ball back really well at the far end of the field, and he done well to kind of wrestle in front of the defender there, but the connection was poor. I think he'll be disappointed with that. For me, that's a big chance.
Magic certainly starting to take a grip in this game since they went 1-0 behind. You can never count Broadmeadow out, can you? In a contest, always in the games. Beecham now. Floating ball over the top. Didn't hit its intended target, but that's what you were talking about there, Ryan. Not allowing Beecham to play those balls in behind.
Yeah. Cooksville have settled back down now. I think they got a little bit rattled by conceding that goal, but they're getting back into the rhythm again. I thought they started really well, Cooksville, actually. So hopefully they can get back into their rhythm and we can go again.
Well, the rain has started here at Jack McLaughlin Oval. Only brief, but a few showers slowly making its way around Jack McLaughlin Oval. It's been a interesting week in terms of the weather. We've had heaps of heat 1 minute, rain the next. just adds to the occasion, doesn't it?
Yeah, to be honest, I thought the surface looks nice. I thought it could have done with a little bit of a water, just to kind of quicken it up a little bit, which is what this rain will do now. So again, I think it's only going to, like you said, I think it's only going to add to the occasion. Liam Spurway again there, involved winning the ball back for Cookshill.
Interception there by Beecham. As we mentioned earlier in this one, Stephen Hoyle has signed on for the Cookers this season. He won't feature tonight due to commitments with the Jets A-League W side, who secured a much-needed point at Combank Stadium earlier this afternoon. As now the ball breaks in the path of Bradley, the shirt dragged by Keanu Moore. Referee gives nothing there. There's a bit of a grab between the pair of them. Yeah,
it was a foul for me. It was a foul on the Cookshill player for me, and probably an intelligent foul as well, because I thought he was getting away. I thought he was getting away from him there. Was Kai Bradley.
He was now, but it's magic up the other end through Ingram. He's got runners pulling forward in the box. The ball's deep. Palambini gets a touch, but then that's another example again of Will Ingram down that left-hand flank. And as soon as he went forward, Ryan, you could see all the runners that started to make their runs to the front, back stick.
Yeah, it's almost a 4-2-4 formation with Keanu Moore on the left-hand side for Magic. In this kind of area here.
Presner's through one-on-one with Eisenhower.
Done well, the keeper, in fairness, especially after his earlier mistake. But what Keanu Moore's doing is, because he probably likes to play a little bit more central, is he comes inside, which then gives that space to Will Ingram then to get on the overlap. So it looks, it's quite an aggressive formation. It kind of looks like a 4-2-4 with me, with kind of James Kresner and Lara in that central role. But then Will Ingram will be the one that gives Broadmeadow Magic the width when they're in possession. And like you said, his left foot for me is excellent. He's one of the best in our league in terms of his delivery.
I think the two up top as well for Magic. You'll probably see Kresner drop a little bit deeper and allow Lara on forward. Don't get me wrong, Lara's been impressive with his press, but this game is opening up. Zach Luck, the goal scorer down the left.
Liam Spurway's passes again there, Harry. I think he's starting to pull a few strings for Cookshill in there, actually. He's doing well.
Very clever and intelligent player. Wilson out to Keanu. Lara with the flick on. Ingram inside. That's a clever pass. Kresner with acres of space, opts for the early ball to Palambini. The run was there. The execution wasn't. Studs up there, you'd imagine. Yeah, free kick given Kane Woolston. Freshly arrived for the Cookers this season. It's come straight out of Bell Swans, who entered their second year into the competition this year. Bell Swans, after they had a really good start to the year last year. They'll be hoping to be there and thereabouts. They've made a few import signings this year as well. And just a reminder that the NPL men's season and women's does get underway next weekend. You can catch all the action on the Northern New South Wales live streamers now. Kresner flies in with that challenge. It'll be interesting to see what the ref gives here. I think it's just a yellow. Be interesting to see that one back on the replay. Didn't look good from up here.
No, it looked a little bit high, I'll be honest. It was certainly late, and it looked a little bit high. But to be honest, we are quite a far way away from the action there. It was a little bit naughty, though, I'll be honest. But I think that's kind of Broadmeadow Magic's, that's kind of how they play. That's kind of how they live. They're aggressive without the ball. They're in your face. They don't give you time on the ball. You know, whereas the opposite you're seeing from Cooks Hill right now, where they're allowing Broadmeadow Magic to have the ball. They're quite happy to kind of sit in their mid-block and almost kind of tease Tom Beecham to go into the longer pass. So Broadmeadow Magic often kind of live on that kind of borderline a little bit. But yeah, yellow card. Probably no more. In fairness, it's probably a good decision from the referee. We had some red cards here last year, didn't we, in the Charity Shield? And to be honest, I'm a fan of trying to keep players on the field. I'll be honest. It probably did impact the game last year. So I think a smart decision there from the referee for me.
Good to see Jai Bailey back on his feet as well. But yeah, like you mentioned, I think it was about this time last year, Jimmy Oates was sent from the field. Impressive from the Jaffers last year as well, that they were able to send it to extra time, having been 2-0 down. Cooks here now through Wilson. An early delivery, straight into the grateful gloves of Jeremiah Clerk. Interested to see how he goes, the custodian for Magic this year. We know Broadmeadow always like tall keepers. Interesting to see how he settles in. Keone Moore breaks the line now. Space in front. Immediately looks for Lara, the goal scorer. Lewis Lara against Jai Bailey. Lara still going. Beat about 3 players there. Simmons. They shift the ball with speed, do the Magic. As soon as I say that, they turn it over. The commentators curse there. And they do well to pinch it back. Early delivery. Beecham's long driven pass, not on the same wavelength as Ingram. You could see what he was trying to do. Keone Moore now. Ingram resets. Shout is to get it to Thomas Beecham and look out in this right hand flank. Palambini gives him a bit of width. With the run of Kresnar. Joseph Kresnar. Palambini's pass. Using the pass of Wilson. Magic slowly getting numbers behind the ball, but Bailey can break on the right. Jai Bailey with space in front of him, not too many options, slips it through. Kane Wilson. That's a crucial intervention there by the captain, Jeremy Wilson. There's a good bit of play on the break from Cooks Hill there, Ryan. Yeah,
it was, and Jai Bailey made a great run down the outside there. Saw some space, really kind of isolated.
A slip here, sorry Ryan. Wilson takes a strike. Fleur down to his right to prevent.
Yeah, Jai Bailey done well on the outside there, and then darted inside and played a lovely pass into Woolston, who's had just a couple of chances now, right? Pulls a good tackle out of the captain, and then pulls a good save out of the goalkeeper.
Fancy that rain might have played a part in the slip there. Cooks Hill do have a set piece though. Delivery right onto the keeper, and Clare claims comfortably.
He's looked solid. He's looked solid as the kid in this first kind of 30 minutes. He's made one great save down to the bottom corner. The goal, he couldn't really do much about. And I love to see goalkeepers come out on corners and crosses like that and claim it with clean hands, and then, a smart distribution as well.
Glipsy with the header, but Magic pouring numbers forward. Beecham's header finds Wilson, question marks over handball. The play will resume. There's numbers out left here. If you can find them. Benson up against his man, the cutback. And I tell you what, Adam Sherratt taking no chances there and putting that one out for a corner.
Yeah, again, Liam Spurway driving the team on. I thought when he played it through, I thought Benson kind of let it roll across his body. What I thought he could have potentially done there was take it with his nearest foot, his right foot, and almost kind of drive towards goal, but instead he let it go across his body, and I felt that just probably took him a little bit too far, and then it changed his decision then to probably cross rather than shoot. But yeah, look, Cooks Hill are looking good value right now.
They've had a good spell of play. I think this is back-to-back corners in the last minute or so. The delivery, again, claimed by Clare. Really look to play quick or settle things down. Looks to play long for Kresna. Not sure if that was the right idea.
Yeah, that's what I mean there. It comes out, claims the cross, which was excellent. And then he kind of had a thought about just holding onto the ball, letting Broadmeadow Magic reset, which is what I thought he was going to do. And then he probably just got a little bit carried away there with the run of maybe James Kresna. And the thing is at this level, you can't just keep giving the ball away like that. You know, you need to hold the ball. You need to possess the ball.
Zach Luck now in behind, trying to get on the end of that one.
Good defending.
Great shooting there. See out that danger. Magic will look to play out from the back. Cooks Hill high in their press here. Magic just trusting their principles. They can get out here. They are out now through Ingram. Lara. Lewis Lara probably had a few touches too many there. Now up the other end. Benson. Bailey. Eisenhower. Trying to play it long there. Kresna intercepts. Wilson. Always love seeing a defensive midfielder like Wilson drop deep and receive the ball as well.
Yeah, and the reason why he does that is he tries to manipulate Cooks Hill's shape. He tries to pull somebody out of position.
Keanu Moore into the area. It's that man again, Spurway, doing his defensive duties this time around. The long ball intended for Wilson. That's a great head down to Benson. Beecham now on the ball. Keanu Moore feeds Lara. If he can reel this one in, he can. Tries to get at Hilton. Cooks Hill will clear now. As I mentioned earlier, Broadmeadow Magic, off the back of the Australian Championship, the inaugural competition which took place. South Melbourne running out winners of that. Put up a great effort though, did the Magic. They had that memorable win. Just struggled to get past the group stage, but now Lara tries to play it out wide, and was that Spurway again intervening there? Great intervention.
Yeah, Lara's not happy there because he thinks that he's took him from behind, but it's actually a really good recovery and tackle. And what I love to see in midfield is when that ball goes beyond them, that's not them out the game. That they bite back from the opposite side, and it's an unconventional way because you're not defending from the front, you're defending from behind them. But what it shows me is it just shows me that hunger and that desire, that determination not to concede goals or not to concede space, which is what Liam Spurway has shown us a couple of times already tonight.
Classy player. We saw Sophie Nardovic in the previous clash from Maitland. Tidy, calm midfielder. We've got a few of them floating around the competition at the minute. Kresna lofts it on forward. Lara showing us his pace. Cuts it back for Palambini. He can't get on the end of it. Decides to clean up Gillespie, or Hilton rather, in the process.
Yeah, referee tried to play advantage there for Cooks Hill. I think he was a good spot from the ref. Palambini was just probably a little bit over the top in terms of his pressure on the ball there. Trying to win it, probably trying to get his body across to win the ball inside Cooks Hill's box, but in doing so was a little bit late on the tackle. The referee spotted it, tried to let play go on, but then brings it back when there's no advantage. Good refereeing again for me.
Question marks about a studs up there from Kai Bradley. This game's starting to slowly heat up. Wilston tried to slip through Benson there. Two very experienced attackers there for Cooks Hill in Benson and Wilston this year. Wilston looks to be playing more of that right-hand side with Benson up top. And also chucking Liam Wilson, who bagged a few goals last season.
Yeah, good pick-up for me, Woolston, for Cooks Hill. I think he'll fit in well here. Probably a bit of a loss for Bell Swans as well.
Looks like they've been busy in the transfer window. Has Mick Stafford's side. They've recruited a few imports. They'll get their campaign underway next week. Beach them out right now. Palambini dispossessed and sending that one out wide. Magic tossing up whether to take the long throw. Palambini. Great control there. Kresna. Palambini wanted the return run and didn't find it there.
You can see how Broadmeadow Magic are setting up here, right on the edge of Cooks Hill's box. Right on the edge. I thought that might have been a handball there.
Did the keeper put that
yeah, I think they got away with that one, maybe Cooks Hill. But you can see how Broadmeadow Magic are setting up on the edge of Cooks Hill's box, not giving them any time to try and play out from the back. It's really aggressive high line, forces Cooks Hill to go long and turn the ball over, and then Broadmeadow Magic end up back in possession.
I don't mind keeping the ball, do the Magic. Looking for the pockets, Ingram. Cooks Hill high in their press, but they've turned it over now. There's space out on the right. Keanu Moore just had to get his head up, but Wilson now sends one back out wide.
Yeah, they had runners there, Magic. It was a poor ball for me. Probably can do better there, Keanu Moore. It was a good bit of possession for Magic. Turn and face forward, had runners going beyond, but yeah, just couldn't beat that line of press from Cooks Hill. If they had done, they'd have been in, and there'd have been about 4 of them.
We've done that on a couple of occasions. The Magic looking for those spaces in the midfield for the likes of Moore and Wilson. But they'll send the tall timber here forward and try and get something on the end of this set piece, which is Simmons is about to take. Simmons' delivery. Beecham arriving at the back stick. And the Magic will get themselves a corner. They're always a threat on set pieces. Let's see what the left foot of Ingram can produce here. It'll be Ingram to take. Deep. Simmons with the follow-up. Now a chance for Wilson to hit on the break. Is his shirt being grabbed? I think he knew when he had the ball in his hands that was a tactical foul there. Cooks Hill look to play quickly. Keanu Moore stands in front of the ball to chew up a bit of time. It's going to be a close finish in these last 5 minutes, plus whatever the fourth official indicates, to close out the first half of the 2026 HMRI Charity Shield. If you missed the earlier action, Zach Luck got the goals started for Cooks Hill with a lovely take and left foot finish before Broadmeadow Magic's new signing, Lewis Lara, equalised, pouncing on a Daniel Eisenhower mistake. In the back, not picked upon by the referee. Lara, that's a lovely first touch, just can't get it under control. Kresner will lead the press for Magic. Wilson, that's calmly done by the Broadmeadow Magic skipper. Beecham, lovely ball over the top. Eisenhower decides to come out again. Lara. Well, I'll tell you what, if he would have got that ball more in front of him and in his path, he was one-on-one or perhaps had an open net in front of him there.
Yeah, he could have almost let it kind of run beyond him and run onto it. But again, another example of the quality of that and in the range of pass that Tom Beecham has got. You'll see, if this ball goes backwards here, I don't think it will. Magic are almost baiting that ball to go backwards, and that's the cue to lock on and press. And Magic's style is they'll press and they won't give Cooks Hill time, whereas, like I said, Cooks Hill's sitting off Tom Beecham, allows him to find his range, allows him to try and find that pass. And again, Lara would have probably liked to have done a little bit more with that.
Speaking of the man, here he is now. Escapes the challenge of Hilton. He's got numbers to his left in Ingram. Will Ingram.
It was a good dribble from Lara. He engaged the defender. He needed to put more on the pass, so Will Ingram could have ran onto it. The best type of pass that goes beyond the defence is the one that you can try and finish or shoot within one touch. And it held Will Ingram up. It meant that he had to kind of come back inside on his non-favoured right foot.
Which is certainly not what he prefers.
Yeah.
As Cooks Hill sitting deep here. Lara receives it. Lewis Lara. Palambini feeds it back to Lara. Lewis Lara in on goal. And on the follow-up, Ingram fires that one over, but a good spell of play from the Magic. Lewis Lara starting the move, continuing the run, and then Ingram blazing one over the bar.
Yeah, James Kresler's not happy with Lara here. He felt like he should have squared the ball rather than shoot. I can kind of see why Lara went for the shot. He went across the goalkeeper, which is the right thing to do in that moment, in my opinion, because if the goalkeeper parries the ball, you're hoping a Magic player runs onto it like Ingram did. But James Kresler, I think he was asking kind of Lara to square the ball there. I'm not sure. I'm not sure there's many strikers that are squaring the ball there, I'll be honest.
A little bit selfish there from Lara, but certainly looking to grab a brace for him. He's been impressive on debut so far. Not Not long to go until the halftime break. Scores locked at 1-1. Lara, beautiful flick. Palambini inside, the Magic bombing numbers forward. Palambini decides to go himself. Chance is still alive. Simmons. Jack Simmons takes a strike. The Magic go ahead 2-1. And Simmons, he had acres of space in front of him, decided to take on the strike, and from 1-0 down, the Magic have turned this one around.
Yeah, look, it's a good strike. It's a good strike from distance from Jack Simmons. He's a quality player. Again, when I see a ball hit from that distance go down the middle of the goal, my first question mark is with the goalkeeper. And you know, I'm just watching him now as the ball's being put back on halfway line. He's probably out of your shot through the stream there, but I think he's disappointed with himself again there. I can see him shaking his head. But for me, Cookshill have been as good as Broadmeadow Magic. Different style, different approach to the game, but in most parts has worked really well. That's late. And if I'm honest, it's probably two goalkeeping errors that have let him down.
Kent Harrison. Harrison with the cutback. Beecham clears. Yeah, I think Cooks Hill will be disappointed to not go into the break with something. They had the game.
Great ball.
In their own armours now. The inside run. Beecham does really well to recover there. Play on now. The end of this half is ramping up. Magic lead. 1-0 is that one. The cut back to the front stick. Joe Bailey will let it go out for a throw in. Spurway. Under a high press from Broadmeadow. Joe Bailey inside now. Can Cooks Hill produce something before the break? Bailey, surrounded by Magic players. How quickly they win the ball back. The ball intended for Lara. He shows his pace. Lewis Lara in behind. Tries to look for Palambini. The chance is still alive. Palambini. Kresner inside. Broadmeadow searching. And now Cooks Hill up the other end. This game is opening up to end this half, and that touch too far in front of Woolston. Otherwise a chance would have developed, but that touch just let him down.
I think we just saw probably Lara's biggest attribute in terms of his pace there. He was probably five or 6 yards behind the defender when chasing that ball, and probably got there a couple of yards ahead of him. So that's interesting because I hadn't seen that from him yet. He looks busy, he looks to come off the line, he looks to run in behind. He's got a decent strike on him. And if he's got that pace as well, he could be a real danger in our league this year.
He's already proving to be a striker to keep an eye on in his side. And Jimmy Kresner take the lead heading into the break. Zach Luck opened the scoring for Broadmeadow Magic. That was soon ruled out by Lara. Then the Magic, well, they took the lead again through Jack Simmons heading into the sheds. 2-1 here in the HMRI Charity Shield for 2026. We'll take a short break and be back on the other side.
What does medical research look like? Become involved in local research with global impact. Hunter Medical Research Institute.
So the younger brother Ben. Yeah. The younger brother Ben is in the Jets Academy now. Okay. And the younger sister's in the Jets Academy as well. So the family's moved up. Wow. Okay. Start maybe. Yeah, he's come off the bench. Well, he's at least been on team sheets, whether he's come off the bench. That's all Jimmy was asking me about. His
Welcome back to Jack McLaughlin Oval. The Broadmeadow Magic turned a 1-0 deficit around to lead 2-1 at the break, thanks to goals from their new signing Lewis Lara, as well as the screamer to cap off the half-time break from Jack Simmons. It's been an even battle so far, Ryan. What have you made of it? I don't think Cooks Hill would have been happy heading into the break the way it has been, but they've showed signs of glimpses.
Yeah, I think it's been an even contest, if I'm honest. And again, you know, I don't like putting the spotlight on players too early on in a season, because I think it's, you know, it is still pre-season. But what I would say is, the goalkeeper probably is looking at himself for the 2 goals. Now, in other areas, he makes the one-on-one save, so I'm not saying that he's having a stinker here, but they were 2 mistakes. Now, that's fine. So let's move on. And for me, the assistant coach's messages at half time would have been more of the same. You know, we if we're happy to let Broadmeadow have the ball, if we're happy for him to go along, we can just sit in. We can try and recover the ball in our own half. And they've looked threatening at times. You know, Cooks Hill. So it's certainly not a game that's dead and buried, and I'm looking forward to what happens in the second half. I do know, Harry, and I think I'm gonna steal your thunder here, mate. Broadmeadow Magic have changed their goalkeeper at half time. Sorry if I stole your thunder there, bud. Which is interesting, right? Because that tells me probably Jim's not quite sure yet. He wants to give people opportunities to impress and to play. And as you said at the start of the game, that's an area that's been quite assured in the last couple of years. So there's probably question marks there.
Spot on. Absolutely spot on. And I think that's what pre-season does, doesn't it? It allows you to test out both keepers. I'm sure training has been competitive in and around in the training facilities, but it is Daniel Axford lining up to take this goal kick now, who comes into the frame for the second 45. A chance for one of these sides to grab a bit of silverware heading into the season. We know Broadmeadow Magic are back here next Friday to take on Edgeworth, while for Cooks Hill they return home to Fernley Doors to take on Maitland FC.
That'll be an interesting game next week, Broadmeadow and Edgeworth. They were the 2 teams that were kind of going toe-for-toe for a long period of last season. And it probably took Ryan Fuchs to walk away from Edgeworth to kind of make Magic just edge ahead. But like I said, they've brought Stewartson in from Broadmeadow Magic, so there's an opportunity for him to show potentially why Broadmeadow Magic should have kept him. So I'm actually really looking forward to the Broadmeadow Magic Edgeworth game next week.
Will be a cracker of a clash. You can catch each and every game on the Northern New South Wales YouTube channel. Speaking of the Magic, they've made a few more changes in personnel at the break. Well-known attacker Jared Baker has entered the field. Ezra Palabini departing this clash. Baker, obviously a familiar name, known in and around the NPL. He's blinding pace for someone who's been around the competition so long.
Yeah, he's a top player, top player, and he'll be one certainly that will really add some firepower to Broadmeadow Magic.
Cooks Hill in behind now. Benson. Ingram has to get a touch, and he's done well there, Will Ingram.
Yeah, Will Ingram done well, but for me there, Benson, that's a little bit disappointing because he was always looking to cross that ball, and I just wish that he'd got his head up because there was nobody in there supporting him. And for me, that might have been where he turns away from the pressure, keeps the ball in and around the Broadmeadow Magic penalty area, brings other Cooks Hill players in who were arriving. But for me, I thought that was a little bit wasteful.
It's interesting to see how Magic set up in the second half. Regan Jose has also entered the frame alongside Jeremy Wilson and Jack Simmons in the midfield for the Magic. Keone Moore still out there as well. Looks like they might go to the 2 up top with possibly Baker, and we touched on him in the first half, Ryan. But Lewis Lara, the new signing, really impressed me.
Yeah, he's busy. he's busy. That's what he is. You know, he's unpredictable. He gives defenders decisions to make. You know, was it the correct decision all the time in possession? Probably not for me. There was a moment where potentially he could have squared the ball to James Kresner. Then there was a moment where he did decide to cross it, where maybe he should have gone forward and shot. But you kind of get those erratic decisions at times from these kind of players who are 100 miles an hour. He finished well. The chance, you know, it was a difficult chance to miss, if anything, but he finished it well. And we saw one real piece of evidence of that blistering pace that he's got, which I'm really looking forward to seeing this year. We might see it again now.
Magic now hitting on the bake. Baker's got Lara inside. Oh, and the chance was eventually missed anyways, but I'm not sure if the two attackers knew the offside flag was up. But I tell you what, you talked about pace there, and Cooksville are in a rush to keep this game going. But Jared Baker and Lara up top. There's going to be an interesting combo. I don't know if Jared Baker will start from the start in games this season, but those two showed blistering pace there on the counter.
Did you see how fast Lara was then? Oh my goodness! Wow. Yeah, that's the second piece of evidence there of just how quick he is. To be honest, I was actually really disappointed with Jared Baker there. What I thought he'd done really well was he squared the defenders up, he engaged the defender. Defenders were in kind of no man's land. Lara was running up on the side, and it was just that one too many touch. You know, if I can give any advice there when you're dribbling at defenders, is dribbling with your head up, driving at the defender's front foot, but looking for where your supporting runners are, and then it's the timing of the pass to release the striker. Because for me, him being offside there is unacceptable.
Lara again showing his pace. This time he feeds Baker, and I don't think Baker knew too much about that one, whether he knew that was coming into his path or not. But again, Cooks Hill starting this second half a little bit slower than they would have liked. Keanu Moore tried to slip in Lara.
They've got away with another one there, Cooks Hill, for me.
Started the first half so well. Did Cooks Hill got off to a flying start through Zach Luck. The left back is now, that's a beautiful dink by Jack Simmons. Magic not able to convert. Spurway now battles, there's space in this midfield. Bradley. Out wide to Jai Bailey. Shout is to get in behind by Jai Bailey, who loves to get on forward at times. When the opportunity presents itself, we know Bailey loves to play as more of an attacking type of fullback, but now the inside run, Kent Harrison in field. Sends it out wide, Liam Wilson. Now uses Benson. Benson, fancy footwork, but it's that man again, Tom Beechin, to come across and clear. This is better from Cooks Hill. Shouts for a handball.
Always makes me laugh, the handball shouts, when they're 5 yards away from them. They hit the ball as hard as they can, and it hits somebody's hand, and it's handball. It probably just goes to show how vague and the handball rule is now, right? There's sometimes really ridiculous shouts for handball nowadays.
I guess both teams want a set piece when the opportunity presents itself, but our referee Charlie O'Brien was not having none of that occasion. Yeah,
and for me as well. Like, I don't see how that is handball when he's so close and the ball gets hit so hard. For me, I think it's difficult, I understand, but some objective rule around the handball, because right now sometimes it gets given, sometimes it doesn't, and it's really difficult for our referees to make decisions on whether it's handball or not. But for me, it was the right decision.
Right decision was made there, but Cooks Hill have themselves a corner. They've also made a sub in the last minute or so, with Zach Luck, the goal scorer, going off, being replaced by Cameron Howard, the new signing. Benson's delivery, over the hands of Axford. Jose can't clear. Bradley. Benson, Spurway. Spurway with a bit of a backwards hit pass to Bailey. Magic stepping as one, but that's tidy footwork from Bradley. Cooks Hill pushing a lot of numbers forward. I wouldn't like to commit too high when you got the speed on the break of the counter that Magic possess.
It's interesting now, Rex. I don't know if you can see the two centre-backs for Cooks Hill in the picture, but there was a moment there where Broadmeadow Magic had all 11 players within 30, 40 yards of the box, and Cooks Hill had still 3 defenders near the halfway line. And I'm thinking to myself, it's 3 versus 0 right now. That's where, for me, teams can be a little bit braver against Broadmeadow Magic. And I know at times that's easier said than done. But 3 versus 0, you don't need 3 back there when there's no one to pick up. There's no danger if Broadmeadow Magic kick the ball long. You've got 1 defender is enough to recover the ball there for me.
I think it's safe to say there are more goals coming in this one. In the final time that remains. Magic looking to pick up another bit of silverware. Cooks Hill looking to improve off the back of last season where it was up there with one of their more successful seasons as a club. Lara now. Great pressure from John Spencer. He wants to throw in, doesn't get it.
It is better pressure from Cooks Hill. I noticed it on the last couple of plays actually where Broadmeadow Magic have been playing with it into the centre backs, and Cooks Hill have stepped a little bit more aggressive and had, you know, okay results from it so far. But Cooks Hill, for me, if you know, they'll be targeting winning tonight, getting another piece of silverware in their trophy cabinet, and you know, that'd be kind of season back to back with silverware, right? Which is, for a club like Cooks Hill, which it's very impressive.
Very impressive, very rare. We know this team has started to compete in games. They're starting to surprise the competition. And regardless of tonight's result, they're going to be a threat in 2026. Spurway looking for a way out. Now there is time to break, but Jose intervenes and slips it through. Keanu Moore trying to get his first goal back in Magic colours, but Eisenhower out. And Cooks Hill again, not looking to slow down the play, looking to play fast. Wilson to Bailey.
Good ball.
Benson up against Peacham.
Yeah, it's probably a foul. Probably a foul there. Just a little bit too keen to get the ball back, recover the ball high, which is a shame because it was a nice piece of play from Cooks Hill, which started from the goalkeeper. You know, he was quite assured coming out there in that 1v1 and reset the play pretty quickly.
Quickly wants to make up for those 2 mistakes in the first half, most notably the first one, which gifted Lewis Lara his first goal in Magic colours.
But look now, Cooks Hill are a little bit higher, look, in terms of their starting positions now when Magic have got it. Now, the danger in that is if you're unsuccessful in winning the ball high, you then leave the gaps or the space in behind. So what Cooks Hill have got to do is if they're going to go, they need to make sure that they can make play predictable and try and force Broadmeadow Magic into areas where Cooks Hill feel like they can win the ball. But single striker going out trying to win the ball isn't going to be able to do that for you. Instead, what it does is it gives time for players to pick a pass, and now these gaps start to appear.
And this is where the Magic are dangerous, like he touched on there, Ryan. Ingram down the left. Doesn't have many options, and Jai Bailey does well. And now the game is starting to open up. Cooks Hill down the other end. That's a really intelligent ball out to Benson. Spurway. Still got some players on the bench if Ash Bolcom wants to utilise them, like Sir Daniel Yaxley, who played a crucial role, especially in the Oz Cup run last year for them.
This is good from Cooks Hill for me. It's a moment just to enjoy a bit of possession, dictate the tempo a little bit, keep hold of the ball, make Magic work, make them run, make them move. You know, you don't want Magic just to be kind of using their energy in attack. You want them to be using it in defence as well, and have confidence in possession. This will be a good sign for Cooks Hill moving into the season.
Great build-up playing out right now. Kent Harrison's early ball. Now this is what Magic do. They've absorbed a bit of pressure. Can they break? Lara looks to utilise his pace. Lewis Lara, does he keep that one in? He does. Lara on the break. He's got Simmons and Baker to aim for. Lara cuts it back. Simmons looking for a double, and I tell you what, Cooks Hill had a great spell for the last 5 minutes, but just like that, Magic could have extended their lead.
For me, that starts, though, with Broadmeadow Magic playing that ball up high, and there's 2 Cooks Hill centre-backs and Lara, and yet Lara comes off of them, wins the first ball, then wins the second ball, then gets out of the third tackle. For me, it's almost criminal to let that happen, to let that the striker have that much joy in and around those areas. Cooks Hill, even in that great bit of possession that they had, they should be setting themselves up for if the ball does go long into Lara, that they can deal with it.
Ball over the top, intended for Woolston. I tell you what, he's collected Axford there. But yeah, like you mentioned, it's a storyline familiar in football. You can have a lot of the ball and create, passages of play, but if you're not translating that possession, translating that possession to goals and chances, teams can hurt you.
Yeah, they can, and it's often the case because what happens is players and coaches, they watch the ball and they watch the ball being up and around the opposition's goal, and we get kind of carried away by, trying to attack, and we forget about the moment in transition. The reality is, from a coaching perspective, you can't influence the ball in attack, but you can influence the defenders getting set up so that you don't get done in transition.
Well, Cooks Hill have made a double alteration. Daniel Yaxley, as we spoke about earlier, enters the frame, as well as Stanley Manning-Lurie. Liam Spurway departs, as well as Kent Harrison, the new signing. So a double substitution there for the Cookers as they look to inject a bit of spark. If you're just joining us now, they did take the lead early on in this one, and Magic clawed themselves back into the lead. That long ball again intended,
but better from Cooks Hill. So you see that little bit of pressure now, how it impacts Tom Beecham's delivery.
Yep.
So now, because they're getting pressure in those areas, the quality, because he doesn't have as much time and space, it can be a little bit off now because you're rushing his execution. So for me, that's a little bit better from Cooks Hill.
Yeah, you're certainly right. You can't let him have too much time on the ball, because when you do stand off him, and I'm sure this is addressed at training, when Beecham's got the ball to make runners, as now Simmons pounces. Probably could have took that one closer to goals, and Jack Simmons, who's had a few chances in this second half to grab a brace, so close there.
I was just watching the Broadmeadow Magic head coach there, Jim Kresner. He had his head in his hands there because he knows what a great chance that was. And he knows probably that might put the seal on the game, whereas there's still 30 minutes to go here, and the longer this game goes on, where there's only one goal in it, Cooks Hill could quite easily nick a goal.
The Charity Shield last year produced a thriller toward the full time between Jaffers and Magic. That one headed to penalties. Great tracking back from Baker. Adam Sherratt partnering Tom Beecham today at the back. Hasn't really put a foot wrong as of yet. foul, it is. Baker there commits a foul on Benson. Cooks Hill. Just over the hour mark played here at Jack McLaughlin Oval. Some Magic who lead 2-1 after clawing themselves back into the game. Zach Luck opened the scoring. What a goal that was to set the tone. Cooks Hill with still plenty of work to do. Yaxley offloads at Stanley. Manning Lurie straight off to the bench, off on the field.
Yeah, he probably didn't back himself there, if I'm honest. It looked like he wanted to hit it kind of shoelaces and step onto the ball, but he almost was kind of caught in two minds in what type of a finish he was looking for there. So probably needed a little bit more conviction.
Baker. Wow. How high did he jump down? I'm just looking down at our photographer, Grant Sproul, who didn't capture that one. That would have been a good shot. Very quick and agile is Jared Baker.
As are a lot of the Broadmeadow Magic strikers, right? He's certainly one from the Magic remit.
Pass there, had to go right. Yaxley made the run in behind, but Jai Bailey again finding himself with space out here.
This is where I think Cooks Hill can hurt Broadmeadow Magic. I think that Jai Bailey probably needs to be a little bit braver for me. He probably needs to start a little bit higher when Cooks Hill have possession, because again, you know, the Broadmeadow Magic, Keanu Moore, he really kind of rolls inside. And it kind of leaves this space on this side that I think Jai Bailey can you know, take advantage of.
Be interesting to see as the game goes on if he does creep forward and try and hunt that equaliser. If you are just tuning in, if this game does result in a draw, we will head to penalties, I believe, straight away, Ryan. We see now Lara with the flick. Jose with tidy feet. Ingram. Jose with the forward run. It's a lovely feint from Simmons in the inside pass, looking for Keanu Moore. Well shielded by Alex Hilton. Ingram now. Inside channel for Simmons, and another pass under hit. Bradley over the top, searching for Benson. I don't know if they have the pace to track this one down. Axford calmly out to claim, but then again gives it away. Benson first time. He had Yaxley across for the square ball.
Yeah, that was an interesting decision again there from Benson. I thought Daniel Laxley was in a position where maybe he could have received that ball from Benson there, and I think he'd have had an open goal, you know.
I was going to say, Axford did find himself way out of his box. Get the right connection there, and could be goal bound like we saw earlier in the women's game. Baker now, these two combining. Look at the forward run. by Baker. Great feet from Jared Baker, and that final product was just missing. But I tell you what, Baker's quick feet there, exceptional. Yaxley into Benson. Do not count Cooks Hill out of this game. Do not go anywhere here. It's 2-1 to the Magic at Jack McLaughlin Oval. Not long to go. Cooks Hill committing bodies forward as we speak. Bailey.
Probably a smart decision there from Jai Bailey not to deliver because there was nobody in there, whereas this is where Cooks Hill probably need to get a few more bodies forward if they can, but it's dangerous, right? Because if you commit to too many, caught in transition, it's more patient build-up from Cooks Hill.
I was going to say, we know Magic are very good in transition, but they weren't on that occasion. I feel like the likes of Lewis Lara might be signalling to Jimmy Cresden that he might be ready for an exit. We've got 2 subs in preparation for the Magic. 2 players ready to take the field in the next out of play. Talk about fullbacks getting high. Look how high Will Ingram is as well. That's what you were talking about. You wanted to see from Jai Bailey, but we'll let this play unfold for now. The forward run now of Kresnar. The cutback, it'll find its way to Will Ingram.
Should score. Should score.
The chance is still alive. Will Ingram, he's found himself making that backstick run on multiple occasions and he just can't get the final product.
Yeah, should score for me. And that's a couple of times now. Will Ingram's been in the right place at the right time with poor execution. And I'm gonna give Will Ingram the benefit of the doubt here because for me he's a quality player. And it might just be a little bit of rustiness, which is, again, the benefit of playing in a preseason game that means something because, you know, it's all well and good playing preseason games when there's not really anything on the line, but when you've got something on the line and something to play for, it adds that extra little bit. And that's the benefit of these Charity Shield games. But Will Ingram, for me, has been in a couple of positions now where he should do a little bit better, and he would think that of himself as well because, like I said, he's a quality player.
We touched on it, didn't we? Lewis Lara and Jack Simmons, the 2 goal scorers that have made the difference so far and put their side ahead to part the field. Zachary Waddell comes on against his old club. Looking forward to seeing how he goes in Magic colours. Also, Jake Cullen enters the frame. So a double switch up top for the Magic. Jared Baker stays out there. But a different look in terms of personnel. Look at the space here. Does the Magic look to play their way out? Baker again leaping. Just over 15 minutes remaining on the clock. Cooks Hill looking to ramp up the intensity, create some chances. Certainly deserve something from this game, especially in that first half. They started really, really well. Some of their creative midfielders have departed the game though, especially Liam Spurway. They'll be looking for an injection from someone like Kane Woolston, a new signing from Bell Swans. Yaxley. Still got Josh Benson out there. What can they conjure up in the final minutes that remain? Benson.
What I would say is if this game just continues as it is, I think Cooks Hill will be disappointed because you know, there's got to be a moment where this, you know, do they put a little bit more pressure on Broadmeadow Magic? Do they try and get Jai Bailey that little bit higher? Or do we just kind of peter out and it finishes at this scoreline? I think Cookshill at some stage are going to have to push that little bit more. Okay, it might leave some space in for Broadmeadow Magic to exploit, but you know, I hope Broadmeadow Magic, Cookshill at some stage kind of just push the accelerator a little bit and try and finish strong and try and, you know, maybe get a goal to equalise at least.
Double change there for Cookshill, as you mentioned there. They're looking for that spark. They've headed to their bench. Ash Bolcom decides it's time for change. Once again, it's Lewis Miller and Joel Clissard. Into the frame with Josh Benson. And the centre-back, Alex Glipsy, departing the field. So a centre-back leaving the field, I think that sums it up, Ryan, the intent that Cookshill are looking to finish this game with. You know what, they might even go to a back three, Cookshill, with the full-backs in Jai Bailey pushing on forward. We'll see how it plays out. Wilson. Keanu Moore. Baker wanted the early pass. Wilson gets on the end of it. The little ball inside, that's clever. Looking for Zach Waddell. Now there's some space opening up in the middle of the park. Manning Lurie sends one out right. Bradley. Oh, tried to slip one through, and again Cookshill had space in front of him, but Yaxley's run wasn't able to be rewarded.
Yeah, I think they're just straight swaps for Cookshill. I don't think there's a shape change just yet. And, you know, we've probably got to remember as well that it is still a pre-season game. There's been a lot of changes in this match. Coaches probably trying to get minutes, top players up with minutes, prepare them for next season as well, whilst, you know, still trying to win the game. It is a bit tricky at times.
Kane Woolston lining one up. Wide of the post there, but that just shows that Cookshill taking some risks now, possibly.
Yeah, it's a shame that shot, because he's looked pretty bright as Woolston throughout the game, and you know, he probably would have wanted to do a little bit better with that one. I think it went a long way wide in the end, but probably not a bad decision to try and get something away on goal and test the keeper out.
Still time in this one for Cookshill to salvage something. And the Magic still have a few subs of their own still left on the bench. Saxon, Pazowski and Bailey and Cliff still await. See what Jimmy Kresner does. Keanu Moore and Jeremy Wilson remain the only players to stay out there from the first half in terms of the midfield. That's a foul. They're picked up on Keanu Moore. It's good to have him back in the competition run.
Yeah, and you know, he's done relatively well today in possession. He's looked tidy. There was a great little through ball that he played earlier on there, and you know, his quality's absolutely on display. He's done well tonight, and I'm looking forward to seeing him throughout the season in Northern New South Wales football's NPL men's.
He's had a stint at Edgeworth as well, I believe, in his career. Won a few titles with the Eagles. Looking to continue the success of Magic of the past few seasons. Jai Bailey. Both teams still well and truly in preparation for the upcoming season, which gets underway next week. Both of these sides facing tough tests to begin their respective campaigns. But all eyes now focus on silverware. And with just over 10 minutes remain, Cooks Hill pushing. Magic trying to hold on to that lead. That's a good bit of play. A late challenge there. Play will resume through Yaxley. Another challenge that'll go out for a corner. I think the referee's played advantage there, and rightfully so.
Yeah, again, good decision from the referee. Looking to play that advantage, and at one stage there, I thought that Cooks Hill and Yaxley had managed to go beyond the final defender there, but Yaxley's touch was just a little bit heavy, and it meant that that the defender could recover, and he ends up getting a corner. But good decision from the referee to play on, because it was a little bit naughty, it was a little bit late, but Cooks Hill have ended up with a corner out of it.
All the players are in the box preparing for the corner, marking their individual opponent, but I don't think they're aware that there's no player on the corner as we speak. I think it's Yaxley still doing his laces, and he'll go across to take this one. No, Liam Wilson. It will be to go across and take this one. So Cooks Hill with a set piece. 10 minutes remain on the clock.
Good opportunity here for Cooks Hill, and corners is everything's in the delivery for me. Let's see.
Wilson, it's a floating cross. Beecham partly clears.
They're really difficult to attack. The floating ones like that in those areas, they're really difficult. That for me is how a ball should be struck if you're putting it in that kind of an area, because you don't have to use as much power to redirect the ball, whereas when it floats, you really have to use a lot of neck strength, and when you are under that much pressure in that kind of an area in the box, it's very, very difficult to get any kind of meaningful connection on it.
You'd expect now Ryan Cooks Hill to send the numbers forward, but they've got to be wary of Magic on the break.
They have, but this is where Jai Bailey, okay, so he's starting to go a little bit forward here. This is where I'd like him to go a little bit more, because then, okay, Cooks Hill now have numbers in the box. Can he find some kind of delivery?
The dummy intended for Yaxley.
But even now, and again, it might be off your screen, but Broadmeadow Magic have one player, which is Waddell, near the halfway line, and there's three Cooks Hill players around him. 3 versus 1. I just don't think that's necessary with 10 minutes to go when you're chasing the lead. I get it. It's easy for us to say that when we're sat up here, right? Because it leaves spaces behind if you do commit, but that was better from Jai Bailey for me.
One thing I'll give both sides is they're still full of energy in the time that remains. Baker's onside. Jared Baker. That could have wrapped it up for Jimmy Kresner's side, but I think Eisenhower gets in touch there.
Yeah, I think it's a great save. And we were maybe a little bit harsh with the goalkeeper on the second goal there, but he absolutely keeps Cooks Hill in this game with that save there. It's a fantastic save, and a great little bit of play from Keanu Moore, again down on this near side there, taking the player on and releasing Jared Baker. Keanu Moore still, like you said, he's one of the few that's remaining out there that's played as many minutes, and he's still showing great signs of quality.
Been impressed with both teams' fitness levels as well in this one. Magic going short, Cooks Hill caught off guard. Baker, fast feet, Jared Baker cuts it back. No options in the centre. Jose keeps it in, does he? He does well. Regan Jose striding through and chipping one through. Keanu Moore. The delivery now deep. Zachary Waddell. This right hand flank. Looks for the 1-2 for Baker, and now Cooks Hill Now they can put their foot on the ball and settle in for these last passages of play where they'll really look to create something of purpose. Yaxley in behind. Axford comes out. Punches really, really well there. Bailey in field to Manning Lurie. Clissard takes a strike. Magic happy to wind the clock down now, Ryan.
Yeah, it's easy for the goalkeeper. In fairness, the boy hits it well, but it's straight down the throat of the goalkeeper, and it was easy enough for him.
Jimmy Kresner, no matter what part of the game, whether they're up, they're losing or drawing, barking instructions as always to his side. Magic always a club, competitive in everything they go in. Obviously off the back of the Australian Championship, they head into the competition this year off the back of the double which they did last season. Impressive display. They'll always be competitive around the competition this season, and they're not far away from picking up the Charity Shield after losing it last year to the Jaffers. Baker now over the top to Zachary Waddell. Waddell. Only Harvard Cooks Hill can't get it away from the danger.
Yeah, it's exactly the start that Jimmy Kresner would want, is to go back to Magic Park with the Charity Shield.
Might well have another one yet. Baker in behind. And I tell you what, great recovery tackle. Has he earned himself a goal kick now to go out for a corner? Alex Hilton there, great tackle. Yeah,
it was like I was saying, it was the only trophy to not go back to Magic Park last year from within our competitions. It's like I said, it's nothing more than what the club expect. They expect to get silverware every single year, and the pressure on Jimmy Kresner this year will be again to deliver on the league. So it's exactly the start that Broadmeadow Magic will want, and they've got probably another 5 or 6 minutes to hang on, and they'll have the trophy in the bag.
Nervous times await Cooks Hill. Chasing the lead after going ahead 1-0. It's been a good reaction from Broadmeadow again. Eisenhower comes out, doesn't get there. Still alive in the box. Now Cooks Hill earned himself a free kick, but I tell you what, Eisenhower a little bit tricky there as we head into the final stages of this one. Ryan, there's been a fair few players on standout tonight that have really impressed. That, like I said earlier, the fitness levels have been great, but who's caught your eye tonight?
Yeah, I think it's been a game where both teams have really they've competed really well. Towards in this second half, we've seen a few changes, and I think that probably speaks to what part of the season we're in right now. Liam Spurway probably gets a special mention for me for Cooks Hill. I thought he was a class act in the first half, and that's the first half that Hill certainly wanted to be building on for the remainder of the season. And again, Lara up front for Magic certainly catches the eye because of his speed and everything else. Maybe could have done better in some circumstances in and around goal, but took the goal that was ultimately gifted to him, but still has to put it in the back of the net, which he well and truly did. So fair play to him. And so if I'm looking at players on the field now that have kind of caught the eye, I think probably Keanu Moore has done a great job. He's been really solid tonight in possessions. He's been tidy in and around the box. He's worked hard. He's put a good shift in. He's broke play up for Broadmeadow Magic. You know, I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do in Magic colours this year. So probably, you know, if I was giving a Player of the Match award in this game, it's probably got a Keanu Moore, I think.
Like you said, it's really hard to break that one down, isn't it? Because there's been a few players that have been on standout tonight. It's been a great reaction from the Magic, flexing their muscles after going down 1-0 early. Like you mentioned, that Charity Shield is minutes away from returning to Magic Park. The Magic, well, they'll be back here next Friday to take on Edgeworth Eagles in round 1. Huge game, a huge rivalry between those two, but we're not done here at Jack McLaughlin.
Do you know, Cookshill have tried that ball 3 or 4 times now, which is not a bad idea to suck the team over to one side and then try and get them in behind.
Well, they've done so here, and they'll earn themselves a corner.
Yeah, I thought he was going to drive in a little bit further into the box there, but it's not a bad idea to shift the side over to one side and then try and hit him on the other side. But in fairness, Joey Kresner has been equal to it. You know, he's got his head on absolutely everything that's been tried to put over him.
Could late drama occur here? That delivery played right to the front stick, and I tell you what, Axford had to be on guard.
Yeah, he was a bit concerned with that one, I think, the goalkeeper there, but it fell on the right side of the goalpost as far as the Broadmeadow Magic goalkeeper's concerned.
It's going to be a good battle to see who starts next week against Edgeworth here at Jack McLaughlin Oval, because obviously Jeremiah Clare played the first half. His brother, Gabriel Clare, just departed the Western Sydney Wanderers. Then you got Axford, who's been in goals the second half and hasn't really put a foot wrong, so it's going to be tricky to see who Jimmy Kresner puts in between the sticks. In the meantime, Cookshill push on forward. High foot, I believe there. Now Cookshill send the tall timber forward. So, still time in this one for Cookshill. Commit a lot of players forward here, and the shout from the Magic players is to play that high line. I think everyone except for Alex Hilton, the skipper, is forward here for Cookshill. I'm surprised Daniel Eisenhower hasn't gone up.
Yeah, we are 90 plus minutes right now, so again, delivery key here.
It's now on ever for Cookshill. Hilton throws it back in the mix. Manning Lurie out wide. Now this is the danger Magic possess. Keanu Moore picks himself up a foul just before the halfway line. Magic will take their time.
Yeah, fair, smart play from Keanu Moore there. That just shows his experience. He was always looking for the foul, and you know, probably the inexperience there of Manning Lowry. You know, he obliged and pulls him down, and that probably, by all counts, sees the game. I think Magic are going to be in no rush here to take this set piece, and as you suggested, the Charity Shield will be heading back to Magic Park unless there's any late drama.
We'll never count out late drama in this competition, but Magic, the favourites to go on in the remaining minutes, possibly even seconds that remain in this one. It's been a hard-fought effort, both teams putting everything out there on display, but still time remains. As our referee, Charlie O'Brien, has a little look at the watch. We'll go on for now. Both benches up on their feet, most notably Jimmy Kresner barking orders. Manning Lurie. Look at the press from Magic, still very, very good without the ball. They all know their roles really well. Dry Bailey outside the foot. Bailey still. Another look at the watch there from O'Brien, and there it is. Broadmeadow Magic pick up yet another piece of silverware in their quest to go back-to-back this season in the MPL. They went down early 1-0 following a crazy strike from Zach Luck. But Broadmeadow fought their way back into the contest really well. And tonight we got a glimpse of Broadmeadow's new signing, Lewis Lara, who got himself on the score sheet. He equalised for the Magic before Jack Simmons' special secured the HMRI 2026 Charity Shield. It goes away with Jimmy Crescent's side. Ryan, a hard-fought game. I thought Cooks Hill were really impressive in patches, but Magic ultimately take the win.
Yeah, I think Cooks Hill did exactly what I hoped they would do tonight. Laid a foundation to build on what was a season last season that had some really positive highlights, and I've certainly seen enough tonight where I think Cooks Hill could be finishing a little bit higher in the league than what they finished last year. So I think they'll be ultimately disappointed with the result tonight, but I think there's enough in it for them to be looking forward to the 2026 season. And as I suggested, Broadmeadow Magic did what they were, at least internally, expected to do. They started the season with some silverware. They will certainly be hoping to add to that silverware. And again, as far as I'm concerned, with the little bit of quality that they've added, I think again they'll be challenging really up there. So overall, a great game and a great start to our 2026 season here in Northern New South Wales football, and I certainly am looking forward to seeing how the season develops throughout the year.
A great teaser of what's to come in this competition this season. I think it's going to be a very competitive race for that top 5. Well, that wraps things up here from Jack McLaughlin Oval. 2 matches of the HMR Charity Shield are complete. You can see the frustration on the Cooks Hill faces, but Broadmeadow, they take the Charity Shield back to Magic Park. From myself, Harry Scobie, and Ryan Deutsch, thank you very much for your coverage, and reminder, you can tune in to every single game across the 2026 MPL Women's and Men's season right here on the Northern New South Wales YouTube channel.
Good evening and thank you for being here tonight to be part of the 2026 MPL Men's and Northern New South Wales HMRI Charity Shield. Congratulations to Broadmeadow Magic, commiserations to Cooks Hill United, and thank you both for putting on such a good match tonight. My name is Aaron McCarthy and I'm here MC this evening. I'm joined on the pitch by Northern New South Wales Football Board Member Paul Sanderlands, Northern New South Wales Football CEO Peter Haynes, and from HMRI, Carly and Richard. Firstly, we'd like to acknowledge the important people, the traditional owners of the land on this event today, and pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. To start, we'd like to acknowledge our match officials for their contributions this evening. We'd like to invite Paul Sanderlands to step forward and present our match officials with their medals. Our 4th official, Josh Haddard, assistant referees, Riley McCauley and Bob Markovic, and our referee, Charlie Everett. loser finals, the Brooks Hill can be created in the record tonight. I'd like to invite their captain, Alex Hilton, forward to say a few words. Thanks, Alex. I'd now like to invite Carly Bridger from HMRI to help us present the Player of the Match medal. The award is chosen by Northern New South Wales Football's Technical Department, led by Technical Director Ryan Ward. And the 2026 HMRI Charity Shield Player of the Match is Fiona Moore. Thank you everyone for coming out. Welcome to Till. It was a great game. Thank you. Thank you, Kylie. Congratulations to you. While we've got you here, Kylie, on behalf of Northern New South Wales Football, we would like to present you this check. Peter Haynes Harrison behind me. Tonight, the football community have helped raise $3,555 for HMRI. Thank you to everyone who donated for your generosity, and thank you to HMRI for your support of the HMRI charity. I'd now like to invite the captain of Broadmeadow Magic, Jeremy Wilson, to first say a few words.
Thanks everyone for coming and staying out so late. It's obviously not the best time to start and play, but staying out and listening. Thanks to Brooks Hill, put on a great game tonight. Good game to start with the season. Gets the legs turned over and gets a bit of competitive driving, which is good. Congrats to my boys. Well done. First trophy for the year, ticked off, which is good. Thanks to Northern for putting on the event every year, and thanks to HMRI. It's a very good cause that they're here playing the forward time. So that's it, thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy. I'd now like to invite Northern New South Wales Football CEO Peter Haynes to step forward and present our winners' medals to the 2026 HMRI Charity Shield winners Broadmeadow Magic. Starting with number 4, Tom Mitchell. Number 5, Will Ingram. Number 6, Fiona Moore. Number 8, Jack Simmons. Number 9, Louis Lara Delgado. Number 13, Adam Sherrill. Number 17, Ezra Polavini. Number 18, Mercy Fresno. Number 21, James Fresno. Number 44, Jeremiah Kura. Number 1, Daniel Axford. Number 10, Saxon Visovsky. Number 11, Jared Baker. Number 12, Zachariah Waddell. Number 14, Jake Callan. Number 15, Regan Jose. Number 16, Bailey Anthony. Their coach, Jim Presner. And their team officials, Nick Patson, Nathan Byrne, Sam Ford, and Greg Lowe. finally their captain, Jeremy Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2026 HMRI Charity Shield winners, Raw Magic.